DTC sector is really hot in India. There are startups, there's Shark Tank, there's a lot of hype. But at the end of the day, a DTC brand is a consumer brand, and consumer brands have always done well in India. So I spoke with this guy who spent over 2 decades understanding the Indian consumers. He's also brought Domino's to India. He's brought Nivea to India. We talked about what are some of the opportunities that Indian entrepreneurs building for the new consumers are seeing, and what are some of the opportunities that they're completely oblivious to. What are the trends that he would bet on if he were to start up a consumer brand for India today? Rakshit, you've been with consumer brands for multiple decades, and today India is seeing Shark Tank. There is quick commerce around. What do you think is one of the most overexploited opportunity today, and what is the one most untapped opportunity today in consumer brands?
That is very difficult. If you ask me, overexploited, I think while there are many which are very good propositions, but I think there are many who are trying to ride the bandwagon without really having the proper commercial model or the foresight in terms of what could happen.
Okay.
And that could result in a fair number of them, facing a bit of heat.
Can you unpack this? What are you signaling at? And DTC, you mean setting up a site and selling online?
Direct to consumer, yeah. So direct to consumer, is now there in virtually every segment.
Right.
But what is happening that the providers are extracting a very high price from the people who want to do
The manufacturers.
the manufacturer and the people are putting up a lot of money. There's a lot of burn. How does this thing play out in the next 3 or 5 years? How many will survive? There's a bit of volatility.
Because burn is not getting lesser.
Yeah, burn is not getting lesser.
Okay.
And, there are also cycles. The whole family is not going to be on D2C. Everybody is not going to buy on Q-commerce only.
And offline is coming back.
Yeah, offline will come back. The whole shopping experience, going to a store, seeing, feeling, touch. Suddenly you hear this, people want to go back to the slightly more conventional way of doing things. Who knows, these trends. I think maybe at the moment it's a bit overexploited.
I mean, the pull of holding a product tangibly, seeing something with your eyes, and
it's important.
Yeah,
it's important. I think it's extremely difficult to imagine that you're shopping a new category without having even seen or felt it or understood, especially if the ticket size is high. It can be a good model for top-up purchase or repeat purchase, which can work.
Right.
But, so much of business happens because of innovation, where things are introduced for the first time. So that seems to be a bit challenging, that people will adopt things or adopt new concepts, which is why, when you sell higher ticket items at high order retail basis, the maximum investment is in the selling agent or the, what you call is the beauty advisor or the trained salesman, because that's how they are able to convince for a higher ticket conversion or a shop.
Got it. Okay. So that's DTC is overexploited. What is one of the things that is very undertapped today?
I think the whole way in which we read consumers' mind to find out what is really happening, connecting neural science, connecting mind models, and then tapping into, what could it lead to, what kind of demand, that science is developing. And I think there's a lot that can happen over the next 5 years or 10 years, or maybe even next 3 to 5 years.
So I think Google knows your mind. So does ChatGPT today. And ChatGPT.
So how do you convert that into a commercial model?
Right.
You see what you search, what you do. So people are already doing that. But how do you make that science more precise? So that you're able to give the right trigger. So if you have the right trigger, the chances of conversion are going to be significantly higher. There, I think a lot of perfection needs to happen. I think a lot of data is still getting accumulated. But when enough data is there, you can actually precisely target individuals.
Right.
So precision marketing, by trying to read consumers' behavior, mind model, and then trying to convert, basically doing customization to a level which is much higher.
Got it. Let's say I was running a consumer brand and I wanted to, build something to last, and I wanted to come to you for some advice. What are the top 5 sectors?
Top 5 sectors.
Where you think, you can really add value as an advisor?
So, I think the food sector is very interesting. I would say ready to eat.
Okay.
QSR,
Okay.
various kind of dining models.
Right.
Then, if you ask me, I think there's a lot that can be done in healthcare.
Okay.
The way
For
you can
example?
develop healthcare. No, I think healthcare systems. How do you target treatments? How do you customize them for people? How do you make the whole healthcare ecosystem?
So more like
or-
in center, in hospital sort of.
a combination,
place?
also in center, in hospital, but also outpatient. How do you develop a network, which gives quick service? So you already have, for example, a lot of things can be done at home.
Right.
So I think that sector also, I think beauty services, and although that's very fragmented, and beauty products, because I think the penetration there is still lower, and a lot of people want to do that. And I think there are various models in which you can bring people together. And also on products, you see, if you take a look at products which are a generation ahead of what is available in India, take a look at Far East, Korea, Japan.
Right.
There are so many things happening, and all those trends and products will come into India at a accelerated pace, because the adoption here, like telecom, you leapfrog 3 generations. So all those things are going to happen here.
So in
The
beauty,
consumer, yeah, obviously.
it's already happened. I mean, it started.
It started,
Thought
but it's still
started.
very small.
Right.
Still very small.
But
Tip
see
of
a
the
bigger
iceberg.
market.
Oh, yeah. As you go deeper, you'll have more and more men and women adopting to those kind of things. So I think all those markets are very, very bright. And also because of the demographic profile that we have in our country.
Got it. And if somebody was starting from scratch, let's say I was starting from scratch, few things to keep in mind going into the market today.
Firstly, the ability to take smart risks.
Okay.
The appetite to
Calculated risk.
calculated risks.
Right.
So, good commercial sense of how much should you spend, where should you stop, how should you know where to allocate your money.
Margin,
Commercial sense,
unit economics.
all those things.
Yeah.
But commercial sense is more important. And you should have the attitude, the ability to fail fast and rise up faster, because all that is important. Otherwise, you will give up pretty soon.
So no consumer brand is built without tons of iteration.
Yeah. There's hardly anything that works on the first attempt. And then after attempts, you might find something which is working. Okay. And then, that becomes the success story that everyone talks.
Thank you so much, Rakshit. This was great here.